Welcome back for another update. There hasn't been too much new stuff, but I might start off with an update on how the house is going. So I'm just getting it's in like first and second draft, but really I'm guessing that means I'm sort of a few days to maybe a week away from final drafts, hoping for, the architects getting things completed, and I finalized the place for the house. So in all the drawings, it's appearing in one place now and not just in my head. And it's pretty much exactly where I had originally thought of, but maybe it's slightly a little bit closer to the garden area. So I'm right here. Here's the edge of the garden. And then this is what used to be the papaya forest over here. And so the stairs really come up to here, and then, so it should be right, there's the guava tree. So it should come up well past the guava tree now and sort of a little bit closer to the middle of the land. But this is essentially like from the street side deck. If you could see out this way, this is what it would be. And then probably by the time that you got to the actually livable area and the rooftop viewing deck, this would be the view here. So it's a little bit closer to the rain tree, and then obviously further back several meters is the wetland side of the deck area for the house. I don't know if any of that made sense. It's all very clear in my head, but trying to explain it is another thing. Once everything's approved, maybe I'll put up a picture of the plans or something, but hopefully it just needs to get approved, and I'm only, maybe 2 or 3 months away from actually having the house put down on the land. So we'll see. But anyway, I'll turn the camera around and give you a quick tour of the garden area, because that's where pretty much all of the new stuff has been happening, aside from the 2 new banana plants that I was gifted and have been planted right up next to the garden. So the 2 banana plants that I was gifted, there's this one here, and then there's this one here. And I imagine it'll probably take a month for them to properly create roots in their new homes, and they seem to be doing just fine so far, but always a bit of a waiting game. So hopefully it's sooner rather than later. I planted them into a bunch more compost and given them plenty of water, so hopefully they're happy. But everything else is growing really well. It's been obscenely cold relative to the tropics at night for the past probably week. So I'm surprised actually that the bananas have grown as much as they have over the past 2 weeks. They still seem quite happy, I guess because we're still getting up to 25 degrees or whatever and sunny during the day. So they're not panicking, but I imagine they'll grow even faster once we get back up to our normal temperatures. The garden is probably where most of the action has been happening. At the back there's a whole lot of nothing to report. I've done absolutely nothing, and same with the guava tree over there. But the tomatoes are coming along really well. So I think as my last update, they had grown like twice the size, and they're continuing to just grow, which is awesome. And they're making lots of little tomatoes. The cucamelons I've been eating, probably a few of them every day. I'm still surprised as to how much they have made. I would definitely plant a lot more cucamelons once I return. And they're so easy to pick off and eat. And I've probably, I'm thinking maybe at least 30, I'd say 30, 40, maybe 50 cucamelons I've eaten so far. And it's pretty much every day I come in and there's lots more that are ready to be eaten. So I'm very happy about that. The shallots, they're doing really well. I've thinned them out quite a bit, and I planted some, there's one there and then there's one in there. because there was some stuff that I had pulled out. I think, oh, those were the old watermelon places. So I just took some of the shallots from here, replanted them in there, and they've taken really well. The pumpkins are growing. I haven't checked for flowers, but I don't know, I think it's still making a lot of leaves. I'm not too sure if these things here are leaves or flowers, but we'll soon find out. Hopefully pumpkins in the making. What I have been doing is, it probably doesn't look any different in here, but what I have been doing is, because everything had decomposed quite well, all the mulch that I put on top, I took the hoe and I've been just redoing like this whole half of the garden that I haven't been using, and just digging up the top layer of mulch because all the other stuff had gone into the soil, and just like turning over the soil, digging everything in, and so the texture of the soil is heaps better now. I don't know about the content, like the NPK content or whatever. I haven't retested it, but maybe I'll do that in a few months to see what kind of difference it's made. But for now, I'm just happy that the soil texture is, instead of that like hard clay and then going into straight, pretty much coarse sand, now it's like proper garden soil, which I think is a massive improvement in just about 6 months. But it's taken a lot of work because this is the area where Mosquito Hollow used to be. And so this is where all the trees and the bushes and everything, so it's just covered in roots. And it was one of those things that I just put off. I was like, oh, I'll just take out the trees for now and deal with the roots later. And now I'm dealing with the roots, just like this one over here. And I don't know, maybe I can just show you some of the roots in just like a quarter of the garden. These are all the roots here that I've pulled out, which in itself is a fair bit of work. But thankfully they're not in super deep. They're only maybe, I don't know, maybe 30 centimeters down. And so I can generally get all of the ones that any roots that I come across, I can eventually properly dig up, which is good to know, because all of this effort that I'm putting into the soil, I don't really want all of these nutrients and all of this amazingness that I'm giving the soil to be going into some, I don't know, some tree that's far away, or bringing some tree that I'd cut down ages ago back to life because I'm feeding it so well. I just want them out and focusing on the actual things that I can eat instead. So yeah, so I've just got, where is it? So I'm up to here. So I'm just going to finish off this today. I do sort of maybe what is that, like an eighth of the garden every time I come in, and that normally takes me at least an hour just to do that little bit by the time that I've pulled out all the roots and everything. And then what else is new? Oh yeah, I got a whole bunch of sugarcane, so I planted that in here. Really tough to see, but I'm hoping that shoots up, because the sugarcane at the end there has been eaten so far back by the wallabies that I have absolutely nothing left, and I think it's probably dead now because it just hasn't had a chance to actually live. The pies are coming up. I'll replant them maybe sometime over the next week. What else is new? Oh yeah, the lettuce is growing. I've been eating lettuce. The silver beet down here, that's coming along, and the pak choy, I think. I always get confused if I planted pak choy or bok choy. Either way, I think it's coming along pretty well, and hopefully in the, I don't know, maybe 3 more weeks I'll be able to eat something from it. And I think that's pretty much it. Everything else over in that area is doing well. The tree nursery is fine, no major growth there. And yeah, the passion fruit is still growing really well. That's the passion fruit there. And yeah, I think that's the end of this update.